can see the Star Bumblebee, the SR-71 Blackbird, the world's smallest biplane and fastest spy plane here. The Pima Museum is one of the largest privately funded aviation museums in the world. Established in 1976, this museum is spread over an area of 127 acres, and has over 300 aircraft. This museum also has the biggest aircraft restoration facility in the world, and is home to the Arizona Aviation Hall of Fame. The major exhibits include the presidential plane used by John F. Kennedy and Lyndon B. Johnson, replicas of the Wright brothers' Wright Flyer, and the world's fastest aircraft, the X-15. With a display of 173 aircrafts, the Central Air Force Museum is one of the largest aviation museums in the world. Established in 1958 and allowed for the public in 1999, the museum gives a glimpse of the history of evolution of aviation in Russia. The chief exhibits include aircraft such as MiGs, Sukhoi planes, Tu-142 bombers, Tu-22 bombers, Petlyakov Pe-2 bombers, and a Tu-144 supersonic passenger plane. In addition, there are numerous aircraft engines, weapons, spy equipment, uniforms, ground equipment, videos, documents and photographs on display. Established in 1964 at the Ottawa Airport, the museum houses an impressive collection of over 130 aircrafts from around the world. The chief exhibits include Canadarm, the Canadian-made part of the Space Shuttle Endeavour, 1920s vintage bush planes, and Canada's military aircrafts, which took part in the World Wars. Visitors of the museum also have the opportunity to see the maintenance works directly. Boasting of more than 200 aircrafts across different models, the China Aviation Museum is the best of its kind in Asia. Opened in 1989, it is located near the Zhaotang Hill. A unique thing about the museum is that a major part of it is located inside a cave on the side of the hill. The prominent attractions include a replica of the Wright Flyer, former Chinese Premier Mao Zedong's personal plane, and a number of World War II aircrafts and Chinese aircrafts. There is also various weapons, bombs, and radar systems on display. Considered one of the most famous museums in the European mainland, the French Air and Space Museum hosts the only remaining part of the White Bird, the aircraft used by Charles Nungesser and François Colli in their unsuccessful attempt to make the first transatlantic flight from Paris to New York in 1927, 2 weeks before the historical flight of Charles Lindbergh. The museum was opened in 1919, and hosts around 20,000 exhibits including 150 aircrafts. Other major displays include 2 Concordes, various gliders, missiles and rockets. Established in 1968, the Prague Aviation Museum reflects the rich history of Czech aviation. Located at Kbely Airport, the first and still used Czechoslovak military airfield, the museum has one of the largest collection of aircrafts, numbering nearly 275. The major exhibits include early Czech and Soviet aircrafts, which served in the World Wars. Located near the Suliany Airport, Ukraine State Aviation Museum is noted for its display of Soviet technology. It was opened on the centenary of aviation history in 2003. It boasts of more than 70 aircrafts, most of which served for the former Soviet Union and later Ukraine. The major attractions include the world's first jet airliner, the Tupolev 104, the strategic missile carrier, Tu-22M, numerous helicopters, and naval aircrafts. There is also interactive displays, which gives visitors a realistic experience of riding an aircraft. Opened in 1977, the Imperial War Museum is the largest aviation museum in Britain. Before the location became a museum, it was used as a military airfield until 1961. It especially played a significant role during the 2 World Wars. The museum houses about 200 aircrafts, many military vehicles, and various British Army regiments as well. There are also photographs, videos and artifacts exhibits that give a glimpse of the history of the wars fought by Britain. The museum also offers flying lessons to visitors. Despite being abandoned by the military, Duxford is still an active airfield and hosts air shows regularly. Situated at the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, the National Museum of the United States Air Force is the largest and oldest military aviation museum in the world, and it receives more than 1 million visitors per year. It was opened in 1923, and serves as the official museum of the United States Air Force. The museum houses around 360 aircrafts and numerous missiles, making it one of the largest collections in the world. There are several presidential planes on display, including the one that John F. Kennedy took to Dallas on the day of his assassination. Another prominent attraction is the B-29 Super Fortress that dropped the atomic bomb on Nagasaki. Opened in 1946, the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum has the largest collection of aircrafts in the world. It is located at the National Hall in Washington, D.C., and currently receives approximately 7 million visitors per year. Major attractions include the first ever airplane, the Wright Flyer, and the Apollo 11 Command Module Columbia. The museum also showcases many other aircrafts and spacecrafts like Spirit of St. Louis and Spaceship One. Other attractions include 60,000 exhibits, 14,000 videos and nearly 2 million photographs that shed light on the history of aviation. The museum also operates a companion facility named Stephen F. Varghese Center at Dulles International Airport, which houses major aircrafts like the Space Shuttle Discovery, the Winnie Mae and the bomber Enola Gay, which dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima during World War II.